Hey y'all, it's Betsy from Cuttin Corners Vinyl in Nederland, Texas, and today's going to be a little bit different of a video. This one is much more personal. We're going to talk about my experiences of being a parent of an autistic child. Now, first off, I want to say that my experiences, for the most part, are not that difficult. The things that I've dealt with, because Caden has Asperger's, which is a higher functioning form of autism, is not as bad as someone who's on the lower end of the spectrum, who's nonverbal, those types of things. But being a parent with a child that is on the higher functioning side, it comes with its own set of challenges. A lot of people, when they meet Caden, because he's so blunt, think that he's extremely rude, and he's not. The way he says things a lot of times comes off as being mean, and that's just not who he is. Caden is probably the most loving kid. He is the most well-behaved. There is no gray area for him. In his mind, it is only black or white. It is only wrong or right. So we don't have behavior issues out of Caden. He's never gotten in trouble. He does well in school. He just doesn't have a whole lot of friends. And being involved in different things, you know, I've had to take people aside and be like, look, he's different. There's no reason to be mean, because he's not trying to be mean to you. And that hurts my heart of being a parent. But his little brother and his big sister look out for him so much, and it's just a very difficult but not difficult situation, I guess is the best way to describe it. I mean, as I said, he's a great kid, but that being said, he's 16, he doesn't drive. We don't know if he'll ever drive. That's one of those things that don't interest him, and unless it does interest him and he can focus on learning correctly, he's always going to need someone to bring him from point A to point B. He works for me, and he works enough to pay his cell phone bill. I try to teach all of my kids responsibility, but making extra money to go to the movies or go to a dance or things like that do not interest him in the least little bit. The school dances that he's went to is because I've made him go, because I want him to have those experiences. But like, he doesn't want to go to prom. I'm not going to force him to go to prom, because at this age the kids are not always quite so understanding. He's just who he is, and as I said, he's not a bad kid, and I don't want it to seem like that, and I don't want people to feel sorry for me, because I wouldn't change Caden at all. But that being said, there are parents who have a lot more difficulties than I do. But I mean, we still deal with sensory issues, like the seats on certain restaurants, how they have that ribbed on the buffet seating. He cannot stand that sound. I mean, it drives him absolutely crazy. Things have to be a certain way for him. Routine is key. He doesn't like change. There's a lot of kids that don't like change, and that can send them into a meltdown. I'm just trying to spread the message of, just because a kid looks like every other kid doesn't mean they're like every kid. And there's other things that can happen that, besides autism, that can mess up a child, not really mess them up, but make them different, where you have to learn to be a little bit more understanding. We've had great teachers, great people. I've been involved in some autism support groups and things like that. And I've learned, you know, that just because you've met one child with autism doesn't mean you've met all of them. There are so many symptoms and things that can affect them that each and every one of them is different. But they all deserve a chance. And that's kind of what I wanted people to know. As I said, this is not a video to make people feel sorry. It's just to raise awareness, because a lot of people don't realize the full spectrum of autism. A lot of people see the kids that are nonverbal like that and think that that's autism, and then they see a kid like Hayden and they just think he's mean. But that's not the case. And I encourage people to do research and to understand that there are several different forms, and it comes in all shapes, sizes, colors. But it is much more prevalent today. There are a lot of kids that get diagnosed with it, and understanding that can easily help make the world a better place. Because this is something, as I said, that I deal with personally. It is something that I want people to understand, but that's not always the case. Autism Awareness Day is April the 2nd. Light it up blue, wear blue. That's Cameron's 12th birthday, but it's also Autism Awareness Day. As I said, do your research, learn, interact with these kids. Even if it doesn't seem like they are getting anything from it, you would be surprised on how much they're getting from it. Because sometimes whenever you have a kid that is nonverbal and you give him like a keyboard that can speak for him, you realize that they have a lot more to say and they know a lot more what's going on around them than what you thought they did. That's why it's important. Because everyone deserves a chance. Everyone deserves to be loved, no matter what. Hopefully y'all understand with this video. Again, this is my personal experience. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below. Have a discussion about this, because as I said, there's a lot of people who are not affected by it, but there's so many people who are personally affected by it. Maybe it's not your child, but maybe it's your niece or your nephew or your best friend's child. It can definitely help spread the word of awareness. Check us out on all of our social medias: Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, as well as my second channel, which is just Betsy Gocher. I do all things Disney, planning for Disney, crafting for Disney, my keto and CrossFit updates. But I guess that's it for today. So we'll see y'all for our live video tomorrow at 5. So remember, Tuesdays are live at 5 over here. See y'all then.